Well, we've certainly got a beautiful day to display our daffodils. I think the sun today is going to help bring those out. I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Wendy Labine, and I was the chair last year for the Kingston Relay for Life. And just to tell you why I'm here, like all of you, I'm sure cancer has touched your life. And last January, I lost my sister to ovarian cancer after a 4-year battle. And I have a sister-in-law currently who is battling breast cancer, not for the first time, but for the second time. And this time she did not just get one kind of cancer, she got 2. So we certainly all know why we're here. And the one thing that we may not know is who's with who and what we're doing for sure, because this is just the launch of something that's really exciting. But we do all know that we are here to raise funds to eradicate cancer. And we're going to do that through the Kingston Relay for Life. Somebody asked me why I chose the relay as my opportunity to help fight cancer. And I did it. I had to think about it for a minute, but I did it because I love people. And the event is such a people event. I love to see teams come together and families and groups. And while it's sad, it is so joyful at the same time. And I get my energy from people, but I will tell you right now, my knees are shaking and I don't like crowds. So that's enough about me. I'd like to introduce to you Martin Kabat, the CEO, to announce our partnership. Good morning, Martin.
So this is really very exciting for me, believe it or not. I came here to Kingston last night. Unfortunately, I came on a train with about 10,000 students returning to me. And they knew what to do when they got off the train. They went right to the taxi stand. So by the time I got to the taxi stand, the line was around the block, and the taxis came one at a time. So, and finally, we did get a taxi around 10:30 at night, and the taxi driver said, "You're the second guy I have to go take people and come back and get you." So it was quite a trip. But I'm here, and that's pretty exciting for us. It's exciting because my official duty today is to announce the partnership between KGH and the Canadian Cancer Society. And that's a bit strange, because actually we've been partners in many ways for many years. We have worked with Kingston General Hospital, with the Cancer Center for years and years. I think we're in the last stages of a $500,000 gift that we made for expansion of the Cancer Center. But that's just a small part of what we believe we do as partners. Nevertheless, well, I should say, just so you know a bit about what we do, because actually what's important is what the Canadian Cancer Society tries to bring, not just to the hospital, but to the community of Kingston. Besides the fact that we spend over $5 million a year here in this community funding the clinical trials group, which is located here and I believe is jointly at Queens and at the hospital. Do you know that last year we provided over 3,600 rides to patients coming to the Cancer Center? That means we drove over about 200,000 kilometers. It doesn't seem like a lot, maybe, although not many of us drive 200,000 kilometers a year. But actually the Canadian Cancer Society in Ontario last year drove 13 million kilometers, driving patients to and from hospitals for cancer treatment. 13,000 patients, 13,000, it turns out, approximately rides. And it's an extraordinary task that just the transportation program provides. 3,000 volunteer drivers are coordinated each year to make that program work and to make sure that patients get here to the Cancer Center for treatment. It's an extraordinary program. In addition, 850 volunteers are located in the Kingston area, working on every aspect of outreach, including information, peer-to-peer support, and volunteer work at the hospital. We have 150 volunteers who spend over 7,300 hours each year offering comfort and support to patients receiving treatment for cancer. So that's why I say to you, the partnership is here, and it's been here for a long time. But when we decided to do Relay for Life in a partnership, you should know that we've never done this before. Relay for Life, like so many of the events that organizations put on, is a very special event that belonged to the Canadian Cancer Society. And the idea that we could partner with other organizations to do this, to share what Relay for Life brings in, was unheard of. People didn't like the idea in the organization because they said, well, you can't give away the Relay for Life. This is your signature event. And I think the problem is that in this world we live in today, and especially in Ontario, the fight against cancer has fragmented into over 200 competing separate charities, all with the name cancer in their logo and name. They're all competing against each other. And sometimes competition is good, but other times it makes you lose sight of the goal. The goal is to fight against cancer. And it doesn't matter how we do it. Doing it together means we're going to raise more money for this fight. And besides the money we raise, we will form an attachment, a partnership, support each other, work together to achieve the ultimate goal, which is helping the patient to have a better experience as he goes through what will certainly be the greatest ordeal of his life or her life. So that's our partnership, and that's why we're doing this. I think there is probably one other thing you should know. The way Relay functions is normally the money we raise goes for research. And many people say, well, you're raising money for research, and that research just goes on in Toronto. And that's not helping the community. But that's short-sighted, because really groundbreaking research helps every single person in the community, in all of Ontario, throughout Canada, and because of the success of Canadian research throughout the world. Our research, and I say this not boasting, but just telling you what we know, because last year at ASCO, the American Society for Clinical Oncology, 3 Canadian projects funded by the Canadian Cancer Society were picked as the best of all research in North America. That research goes on to change the world and help people with cancer. What I'm trying to convey to you is that in addition to research, now the Relay for Life will allow us to raise money with the Cancer Center, with Kingston General Hospital, that will be used directly here to help people in Kingston and to help the patients at your cancer center. So for us, this is very important because it establishes even more firmly the relationship between us and between the Canadian Cancer Society and Kingston General Hospital. So last, I'd just like to tell you, whenever people from the Cancer Society talk about the things they do, they always talk about the particular cancer story that moves them. And in this case, I want to tell you about a young woman. So this is such a strange experience for me. most of us in the Canadian Cancer Society have had parents, relatives, siblings suffer from cancer, and that's what brings us to fight this battle. You probably may not know that in Ontario, Relay for Life raises approximately $19 million a year. Just in Ontario, $55 million a year across Canada is raised by Relay for Life. So what we are hoping to do here is find a way to build on the Relay for Life and, as I said, raise money directly for the cancer center at the hospital. And you can do this. Relays that succeed in attracting 100 teams raise over $250,000. Every 100 teams you bring to Relay will raise $250,000 for you. And so it's really almost a formula. The more people you attract to the Relay, the more you will raise for yourself. And now, I want to tell you this one story. At the Canadian Cancer Society each year, we try to hold a little Relay for Life inside our office so that the people who work at the society can have part of the experience of putting together luminaries and remembering the people they know who have fought against cancer. We invited a young woman to come to participate with us, a woman who is just recovering from brain cancer at the age of 23. This young woman was intelligent, attractive, and on her way going to university and having succeeded in defeating one of the most difficult forms of brain cancer. She came in the middle of her struggle to help us launch our own Relay. And it was a special experience for us because this woman, while fighting cancer herself, while fighting one of the most virulent forms of brain cancer, decided to join Relay for Life. And she got together with her friends from high school and her local friends and went out and became, in 1 year, the top fundraiser in Canada, raising over $80,000 just for her one team. She kept fighting her cancer, and she thought she was in remission only to learn that she had another brain cancer, and she died 2 weeks later. 2 weeks approximately after coming to us to help us with our Relay for Life internally. And she didn't go out quietly. She went out fighting again, trying the latest forms of treatment, because she said, I'm not going to sit still like this in the middle of her own struggle. Not fighting for herself, but fighting for other people, I think is the essence of Relay for Life. So we welcome you to this partnership. We welcome you to Relay for Life, and we look forward to seeing all of you